Yo peeps, welcome to Conspiracy Cupboard. Today we're going to be looking into Germany's plans to legalise cannabis, and is the UK going to follow suit? Will other European companies follow suit? And don't worry, I will be doing a thing on UFOs tomorrow when Congress is open. So first, let's look into this. Cue the start sequence. There we go, nice and quick. So this is a nice quick episode. So basically, Germany have unveiled the draft bill to legalise cannabis. So Germany's government is taking steps towards the legalisation of cannabis by publishing the draft bill, the first pillar of a two-pillar model designed to dismantle prohibition policies. Germany's Ministry of Health published on 5th of July the long-awaited draft bill to regulate the use of cannabis for personal use, home growing and the establishment of cannabis growers associations designed similarly to the Cannabis Social Club's model. So basically they're going to try and do something that they've been doing in America, that people have been doing all over the world. I think this has come from the fact that Malta has recently legalised cannabis as well. So, you know, what are they basically saying then under their bills, and would this be something that the UK would be willing to follow? So under their draft bill, adults aged 18 and above will be allowed to possess up to 25 grams of cannabis for personal use and cultivate a maximum of 3 plants. However, the consumption of cannabis in the immediate vicinity of individuals under 18 or within a 200-metre radius of schools, children, youth facilities, playgrounds, publicly accessible sports facilities and pedestrian zones between 7 AM and 8 PM will remain prohibited. It's important to note that fines and criminal charges will continue to impose for specific unlawful activities. So that's a good step. I agree with, not smoking around the school, or other facilities like that, just walking around in public and having it. But if there are regulated cafes, zones that you can go to after 8 PM, in the town centre, maybe like Amsterdam or some local places, like your local pub where obviously you're not smoking tobacco, you're just smoking cannabis, or obviously doing it in your own home, then perfect. Our minds are, like I've said before, our own. We decide what we put into our bodies, and we should do. We should have the knowledge of what we are doing. So I hope, along with this draft bill, this legalisation over there, or steps towards legalisation, it's not happened yet, they put some education into this. Now, they have basically said they're going to make roughly 5.3 billion out of this industry if they can do it right. Okay, so the proposed legalisation allows an association to accept 500 members. Each member belonging to the association is eligible to receive either 25 grams per day or 50 grams per month for personal use. Additionally, associations have the authority to supply each member with a maximum of 7 seeds per month, which can be imported, or 5 cuttings per month. So then you can grow, obviously, your own if you want to do it that way. And then you're going to be putting money back into the energy companies. You're going to be basically creating this entire supply chain. You're going to be creating jobs. 5.3 billion. What country couldn't do with that kind of money? I hope that this does. Malta, Germany, UK, what are you doing? What's going on? Why are we not doing this already? I bet at least 4 or 5 people that smoke bud. I bet you do. It's in the UK, it's one of the things. You smell weed? How many times have people said that walking down the street? It's something that can be used for medical purposes. It has been used for medical purposes for thousands of years. And I hope that legalisation of these substances comes over here. And I have done episodes on DMT. I've done episodes on psilocybin. I've done episodes, and I'm going to be doing episodes on LSD as well. And talking about those and how they affect you, and why I think they should be legalized, and why they shouldn't have been illegal in the first place, and why making things illegal actually makes things worse, because you're not regulating things. Then you are not actually looking into the properties of the drugs, or making sure that these drugs are being used properly and can be, used safely. So by legalizing them, you take them out of criminals' hands. You make sure that the processes are there to be done correctly, and then you can use them. So you're not giving people who've got depression millions of drugs. You're using psilocybin or LSD to help them through a process in a proper centre where people know how to use this stuff and can guide them through, rather than pumping someone full of tablets and drugs where they've got to have 7 pills because these pills counteract the other pills that take these pills, but these pills make you worse because these pills are, and then your stomach falls out and your dick flies off across the room and hits you in the face. You know what I mean? It's like, no, when we've already proven that if you have an experience on the psilocybin, if you've got anxiety and depression, it can help towards curing you of your problems and can help work through these issues, done correctly and with the proper use of shamans and people that understand and that have had these trips. I've said for years that unless you have taken LSD, ayahuasca, DMT, mushrooms, something, you've had an experience and you have an understanding of the fact that we are all the same deep down people. We have a connection to this earth that we lose by wearing shoes and by having to, conform to things. And we have to have a basis in this world. You can't all be fanciful and off with the trees and in the beautiful realm of, a psilocybin or LSD all the time, because you'd never get anything done. Although, on LSD you do clean quite a lot. So, you can do that. Same with psilocybin, if you can get people to help you, like the fairies. But those kind of things, those experiences, once done correctly and in a safe environment, and understanding what you're doing and what it is that you're taking and how it is you're taking it and etc., and the effects on it and how long it lasts and this and that, it gives you better knowledge of what you're doing. It's like if you have children, most parents, I had this when I was growing up, you got a nip of whiskey, you got a little sip of beer, you got a shandy, and it wasn't a taboo, because by making it a taboo, when you see them drinking or whatever, then it makes it wrong or makes you want to do it. If you can just have something, or you can be educated on it and say, look, if you drink too much of this, you're going to be fucked up. You're going to feel really ill, you're going to feel really bad. Everyone's done it. Everyone goes, oh, I'll be fine. I know what I'm doing. One shot too many and you are, oh, Jesus Christ, out of it. So you can have that same effect with drugs. I totally get that. But this legalization process, if done with education and the 5.3 billion that's being used to pump back into education, to then pump back into your farming to get people to grow the cannabis, to, have people employed to actually make the stuff properly, so it's being made clean and it's being done. You've created billions of jobs. You've created a new industry. You've taken the criminal element out of it. You've stopped filling your prisons up with people that have literally had a joint or seen the other side of reality from a psilocybin trip or something, and you put them in prison for reasons, So, yeah, that is Germany's policies. So let's have a little look, shall we, at Britain's attempts. So in the UK then, this was 2009, they reckoned that within the next 5 years, cannabis would be legal in this country. So currently, cannabis is a Class B drug in the UK, and, still is. Sadiq Khan has put forward another proposal again, I think, to legalise cannabis. And, yeah, that's it, basically. No one's doing anything. Basically, you've got some Liberal Democrat people that have been trying to push it. MP for Norfolk's Norman Lamb led the policy decision. Canada's already legalised it, G7 in 2018. What other reasons do we need here? I mean, I can't find anyone else arguing for it. I mean, Sadiq Khan said something about it. Yeah, no. Even though we could make, you know, 5.3 billion or more, you know, cut down NHS waiting times, you know, actually use drugs that aren't going to kill someone. No, sorry, yeah, no, the UK are doing nothing. Sorry to burst your bubble there. But yeah, they should. They should. Let me know in the comments, please, what you think should happen. Should we legalise cannabis? Should we do what Germany's doing? Should we do what America's done? Should we have big pharmaceutical places? Should we have, you know, the big warehouses that America has? Should we legalise psilocybin? You know, we don't want to be doing what Florida did or whatever, wherever it is, where everything's legal and everyone's off their face on fucking fentanyl and crack and whatever else because it's all legal. I'm not saying that. I don't think you should be driving when you're on alcohol. I don't think you should be driving when you're on drugs, you know. It's one of those things. Let's just come together and have a consensus where we can legalise these things, decriminalise them, stop sending people to prison for them, and stop stupid laws that I didn't vote for, no one else voted for, and let's make Britain green again, shall we? Let's use that slogan. Let's make Britain green again. You know, it's a thing. We used to smoke cannabis, you know, all the way up until the 19th century. It's only because of the European Union that, you know, pushing it through, because of America and their decision in the 70s, 60s, you know, to basically stop LSD use, to stop marijuana use, to make it an illegal substance so they could detain Mexicans and they could detain people of colour or anyone they wanted, basically, and say, you're going to prison or we're going to shoot you, or, I tell you what, you can go in the army if you want and we won't shoot you, but we'll give you a gun and drop you off in Vietnam. There you go. But I don't want to do that. Why? Because I've seen the Earth. And the Earth's name is Yaksari, and she is a beautiful being. And I walked among her, and they're like, "What are you on about? I've taken all, you know, this thing, and it allowed me. You've taken these illegal substances. You're going to go to prison, man, or you can go to Vietnam." You know, that was the basis of drug laws. You know, and they didn't want anyone to take LSD, to take psilocybin, to smoke cannabis, because it opened up people's minds, which is why you've got the amazing sounds of the, you know, the 70s and the 60s, and where people were learning all these amazing, you know, sounds where you could basically play a guitar and... Or you get something weird, like you play it with the back of a... You know, only those kind of things could be done if someone's being off their face. You know, it's music from back then was feeling the music. You know, you felt every note because they did. They could express this music because they were using these. Now, I'm not saying that you can only do this through the use of drugs or anything, but I'm saying it helps. You know, it's... Who would have thought to bend the B the opposite way around, other than Hendrix. You know, and that kind of stuff. It's like no one would have thought of that other than, you know, Jimi Hendrix at the time. And that was because of use of things like LSD. So, hey, let's see what happens, shall we? So, in my next episode, which I will be filming for you tomorrow, it will be the long-awaited Congress hearing, seeing what they say about the UFOs. So I would like you to leave me in the comments what you think is going to happen tomorrow. Let me know what you think, obviously, about the topic of legalization of cannabis. But also, please leave me a comment about what you think is going to happen tomorrow. What you predict is going to happen tomorrow in Congress. Are they going to come forward and say, aliens are here, this is what happened, we've got all this technology, blah, blah, or is it just going to be some people coming forward to say, yes, I know this, and I know this, and I know this, and they go, oh, really? Okay, blah, blah, blah. Well, we'll look into it. And then nothing happens again. And then maybe in another 10 years or something, or another couple of months, something else comes out and we just get another thing. And it's just a major cover-up and deception for something else. Or, yeah, like I say in the first place, are they going to come forward and say, yes, we know this, these are the programs, this is what we've been working on, and here you go, humanity, you're not alone. Is that going to be the answer? And then everyone's going to want to have a trip, aren't they? Because you're going to go, oh my God, we're not alone. I think I need to get off my face just to figure this out. So until my next episode, I will see you tomorrow. Wednesday is when I'll be filming this, because that's when Congress is meeting. In fact, I think they were meeting in about 10 minutes as I'm filming this, so I'm going to go and start setting up the next video. So have a good evening, guys. I shall see you in the next one. Legalise cannabis. Come on, you know it makes sense.